Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Let us tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with you. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. The Hanged Man. Surrender, letting go, a sacrifice, a release. Challenged by the Lovers reversed. Bad choices. Misalignment of values. In the subconscious, they're thinking about reunions, freedom, and marriage. In the recent past, we've got the Star. Spiritual fortune, rejuvenation, healing, purpose, and renewal. Intentions and expectations, death. Wow, end of a cycle. End of a freaking cycle. Alpha, Omega. Renewal. End of a cycle and renewal. Omega and Alpha. The Omega is bringing about the Alpha. Or the Alpha is bringing about the Omega. The lens is being looked through. The Sun, a rebirth, a celebration, a success, all is well. In the environment, in the lens that's being looked through is the Chariot. So there's a victory. There is a moving forward, a departure, a journey. In the environment, we've got ambition, desire, manifestation. So there's a Page of Pentacles here. And a Five of Cups. It's like somebody has to walk away and move. They've lost a financial opportunity. In the hopes and fears, the Empress reversed, selfish, overwhelmed, anxious. Lost their opportunity. And in the outgoing energy, Tower. Sudden change, upheaval, preparations to move forward, and disappointment, walking away. It's like there's a tower and somebody's moving forward for an opportunity, but they are disappointed. There's an abandonment. And then Eight of Swords. Victim mentality, a mental imprisonment. Because you completed, this is a completion of your Ten of Wands burden, and you are strong. And you completed this burden strongly, and you're entering into this Ten of Cups union. So it's like the strong ones, those people who were able to withstand the death magic and all of that stuff that was coming at them last cycle. All of those people are coming together in union with a solid foundation and wealth security. The Queen of Wands is here with the Two of Cups and the Emperor. So there's courageous, confident determination. Those who are courageous, confident, and determined are coming together in union, and this is overseen by the leadership, by the power and authority invested in me, the Emperor. So it's like what the divine brings together, let no man rend apart. But last time it did, because it's like there was a disagreement or something, like in the previous cycle. But what started all this, what I'm picking up on, is that there was some sort of a disagreement, like, and there was the temptation to just squash and absorb, and it's been happening a lot. It was a successful plan for many. I don't want to use this deck right now. But in this particular read, so there is a release, there is a sacrifice of those who have fear of commitment and aren't loyal in unions. Or you're just letting go of somebody who wasn't faithful to you. They're in poverty. I'm doing this as a macro. This is macro. I'm going to read it how I'm reading it. Those who aren't faithful are being let go, and they're facing poverty because of the way they handled marriage and responsibility. They're facing imprisonment. They're challenged because there's a sacrifice here. They're being let go. They're being released. They're facing poverty. And they are facing imprisonment. They have no love. They're thinking about domestic happiness. They don't have any love for anybody else. It's just love of self. So now there's a difference between loving self is loving self, where you nurture yourself, you fill up your cup, like you do the necessary steps to care for self the way the most loving mother would, right? And these ones, their self-love is prideful, it's arrogant, it's you owe me what you have because I am this, wonderful person. So they prey on innocence. And they're in despair over your freedom and your marriage that's coming up. You are the star. You've been rejuvenated, renewed, healed. You've got a great spiritual fortune. They could not steal your pathway. They couldn't steal the pathway of this star. And there is death. End of a cycle. They did not get what they were expecting. There's the sun here, a rebirth, a celebration, all is well. Main male, the sun, main male, all is well. Okay, victory, chariot, moving forward, courageous. Main female in the reverse. Main female in the reverse. So the main male is here. He sees this main, the lens he's looking through, he's gained a victory, and he sees this person here who is not the main female. They are in sorrow because they have to walk away from this new financial opportunity. A community. A community is having to accept this loss and move on. They have to move away from this financial opportunity. There's an empress here in the reverse. She's very selfish. Did not get the unexpected income. They're in a tower. They're making plans to move forward. They're disappointed and they have to walk away. It's like their house is like falling apart and they have to move away. They want to go overseas. They got to get away from this tower. They want to escape this tower. Concern in the reverse. Bad health. They want to get rid of their concern. They're in bad health over what they did to a child. Toil and labor. This mature man. To get a house. This mature man did toil and labor, and it was an occupation. It was his job against children, and he's in bad health. Or against the innocent, however that resonates for you. And he did that. He used love. Well, there's this house. In the house, we've got courtship, lovers, and sudden wealth. So it's like, because these lovers are coming together, those who have been tested, those who are responsible in love, are coming together, and that's causing a tower for them. It's like as these structures go up, their structures come down. So there is a release here. Somebody's facing poverty and imprisonment. Those who did not take relationship, partnership, union seriously. Those who were not loyal and faithful in their marriage. They're facing poverty. They can no longer receive love and replace it with shit. Like, here, I'm going to extract your love and I'm going to fill you up with bullshit. Yeah, they're not successful. They don't know that there's no greater goal than to love. They are in poverty. They have no love in them. And they're not successful. They're in imprisonment. They're facing imprisonment. Those who were not those who loved themselves more than they loved their wife or their husband or even their child. Those who were prideful and egotistical and thinking the whole world owed them a honeypot, they're facing imprisonment. Because you've got freedom. Because you're free. This is coming out. You may actually... It's wild to me, but it's like there's a I mean, many of us have had generations of cycles of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, right? And it's almost like there's a separation, like these ones who have been in another world that is meant for the faithful. It's like they've been seen for who they really are, and now they get to leave that world and come into the world that, is meant for those who don't know what love is. It's wild, they were busted, man. They got busted. They were found out, and they could not steal the pathway of this star. They have to accept the things that cannot change. Death is here. They didn't get what they were expecting. They got death. That's death there. Death in the intention and expectation. Death in the subconscious. And despair. The main male is the sun here. A rebirth. All is well. It's time for a celebration. Abundance. Abundant, limitless being. Manifest whatever he sets his mind to. Has the Chariot here. Gained a victory over somebody who is not the main female. Gained a victory over somebody who is not the main female. Yep. Somebody who is trying to steal the pathway of this star. They're being cut out and released. There's death here. Yeah, they've effed up. They did not get what they were expecting. They got death. This main male's not fooling around. It's like, you're not my star. I'm so glad he can see. I'm very, very grateful for that. So they have to surrender their need to control. Yeah, he gained a victory over this non-main female. And they have to accept this loss. A whole community has to accept this loss. 5 of Cups. They have to accept the loss of a financial opportunity, meaning they couldn't absorb this star. They could not take the pathway that belongs to this sacred being. Yeah. Happiness. You're happy. So this non-main female is an empress reversed, and they didn't get the unexpected income. They couldn't tap into this main male. This main male is like, you're not my star. You're a selfish little hoe bag. Unfaithful. Codependent. Not independent. So that is a I guess one of the telltale signs when investigating somebody is, are they dependent, or are they codependent, or are they independent? And then we've got denial. So we've got this Empress reverse, selfish, not faithful, did not get the unexpected income, they were denied. This main male is like, no. And you got Tower. They're making preparations to move forward. They're disappointed. And no one cares. There's concern in the reverse. Envy. No one cares about those who are envious, who blame others for their own well-being, who aren't self-responsible. They're worried because you feel good when you can help others. You open to seeing both sides of this situation, and they have doubt. You are a grateful person who loves others, and you're resting in your purpose. You're trustworthy, and you have friends, you're at peace. There's forgiveness here. So I don't know how long it took to get to this stage, you know. I remember being a kid when everybody, you know, they were kind of mean and brutal. But for the most part, you know, it wasn't that bad. Kids are the cruelest because they're taught by their parents and they have no inhibitions. They don't know, you know, what is when the appropriate time to be cruel is. They're just cruel, you know. They, if their parents are and they take witness to that, they go to school and they don't pull back at all. They just let it all out. Kids have a tendency to just say whatever is going on in their mind. They have no filter. Detachment. So they weren't successful. There's detachment here. They're facing poverty. They're being released with this hanged man. There's imprisonment for this for those who were not faithful to or loyal to partnership, who were abusive and drained the wealth out of the happiness, whatever wealth was there. So they're facing imprisonment. They don't have any love in them. They don't know that there's no greater goal than to love. Yeah. They're challenged because, see, their self-love is not like your self-love. Your self-love is, I am still trying to heal. Their self-love is making you have to heal, putting you in a position of poverty, which you have to heal from. That's their idea of self-love. Their idea of loving themselves is making sure you're hurting. And now they're in despair and they're facing death because you've gained your freedom and you're coming into a marriage. They're being released and they're facing poverty here. You're the star. And this chaser could not take your pathway. They have to accept the things they cannot change. They did not get what they were expecting. Instead, they got death. They've got an end of this cycle. They're in the shadows. They're in the shadows. They didn't get what they were expecting. You know, they were expecting to be in the light. They were expecting to be on the pathway of this star. But they didn't get what they were expecting. They got death. And they're stuck in the realm that they played in. There is the sun here, the main male, abundant, limitless being. All is well. Reunion. Reunion, and he knows that this person is not the main female. He's gained a victory over her. Illusion, whatever illusion she was trying to paint, didn't work. Secrets are out in the open. He knows all the secrets. So he knows what's going on. So he knows what to look for. He knows what to expect. And he was not taken by surprise. And this whole community failed. A whole community coming after this star. They were all going to get rich off you, baby. They were all going to take advantage of your financial opportunity with your star qualities. Oh yeah, they were all going to get rich and happy. But instead, you are the page. Yeah, you got this Empress here in the reverse. Selfish, anxious, didn't get the unexpected income, in denial. They're in denial. And they're in regret. There's a tower here moving forward, moving people. They're disappointed and they're having to leave stuff behind, or they're getting left behind. It's like there will be no more concern necessary regarding the envious. We're moving away from that. This tower is wiping the slate clean. Wiping the slate clean. Okay, these cards came out and they just bounced around and they went every which way. Let me just try that again. They made mistakes. They made mistakes. And we're moving forward into responsible partnerships and unions. They missed their opportunity for a soul contract. Their values were all about money. This is so weird to think that, I mean, I've been alive a long time, and my mother was alive for a long time before that, and my grandmother. The feminine has been in a situation for quite some time, at least in certain family lines. It's like there's been kind of a curse, I think some stars were born into cursed narcissistic family lines, and their duty, or the duty of that hidden hand, was to manipulate these narcissists to try to destroy the star so that they could take the pathway. And they do that by getting rid of the father, destabilizing the foundation, and especially in those years when the mother couldn't rent her own apartment or get a credit card or do any of that, like my mother and my grandmother. I mean, they were totally reliant upon somebody who may have been abusive just to get along. So, there was no stability, no kindness shown or care shown to the needs of the mother, to the needs of what she needed to take care of this family. We got Val on the bottom of the deck. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. So there is a sacrifice with the Hanged Man here. A change, a release, a letting go. Somebody's being detached. They don't have any love in them. They are not a success. They're in poverty. They're spiritually in poverty. They have no love in them. They have no love in them. They're not about loving unions. They're facing imprisonment. And you're still healing. They're in despair because there's a death here. This is over for them. They cannot. You're moving forward into this marriage, and they're in despair over that because they didn't get it. They're getting imprisonment and death. Natural disasters, survive, frustration, risk. Everything that they gave to you, death. They're in despair. Everything that they gave to you is coming back to them. You're still trying to heal. You love yourself. And they're going to be locked away from you. They're going to be removed because their self-love means to hurt you. They feel to love themselves means they have to hurt you. And meanwhile, you're over here like, man, I just love myself. Will you please stop hurting me? I'm trying to heal from this. And they just keep hurting you and hurting you and hurting you and hurting you. Because they want your pathway, but it failed. And they're furious. They're furious because they're being imprisoned and you get to heal. They're all about disharmony, bad choices. They're with people, but they're not committed to people. They didn't live and learn anything except what? How to be brutal, how to be mean. They're in despair because there's death here. The star is here and they couldn't take the pathway. They were chasing after it. This chaser has to accept the things that they cannot change. They did not get the pathway of this star. They did not get what they were expecting. There's death and they're stuck in the shadow side. This star reached their goals even though they may have been blind. They may have been awkward. They may not have known what was happening to them in the beginning. Like they may not have known why was it so freaking hard. They may not have known. Like they may not have, literally, they may not have known. The sleeper, there's a new promise. A family tree for the star. And these ones did not get what they were expecting. This Empress reverse did not get what they were expecting. They got death. They have to accept the things that cannot change. This is the end of a cycle. They're stuck in the shadows. They did not get the unexpected income. They have received denial. Look, self-love. This star loves themselves. And not in an egotistical, prideful, hurtful toward anybody else way. Just very independent, self-healing, self-caring, self-love. Self-love. They came after a star who loves themselves, trying to undo this star, trying to make it so this star would not love themselves so that they could knock them off the pathway and become the star. That's wild. But the star refused to stop loving themselves. It's easy when you're a youngster because the youth around you will validate the negative train of thoughts that are being planted into or seeded into the consciousness. So it's easy for the youth to feed into and to buy into these visions and mental ideas that they are somehow less than. And only when you hit the ground and you really hit bottom, do you promise yourself to love yourself, when the whole world won't. You decide to become your best friend. And you're like, screw it. If nobody else will be my friend, if nobody else will love me or care for me, then I will do that for myself. And you have to. And you become an abundant, limitless being. You can do whatever you want for yourself. You just keep that sun shining. You remain positive. And you're like, no matter what, you're not going to get me down. And then you've got this main male here coming into a reunion. No matter what, we come back to each other with a promise. This is being stopped. Whatever this is, it's being stopped. This intentional hurting of shiny, happy people who love themselves is being stopped. These people who are the sun and the stars, abundant, limitless being. These here in the shadows, they were trying so hard to steal the pathway of. They didn't get what they were expecting. You loved yourself too darn much. And it's like the more they hurt you, the more you loved on yourself. The more they damaged you, the more healing you did. You got to do the work. And it ain't easy. Especially when you got multiple people coming at you. Oh, look at this. You're all relaxed. You're tranquil. You're at ease. Main male. And so main male gained a victory over this non-main female, this Empress reversed. They have to surrender their need to control. Main male's not fooling around. He knows all this person's secrets. They're a bully, and he knows it. And now they're in a nightmare. He's like, oh, I see your secrets. I know who you are. Yeah, Empress reversed is in regret. This whole community is in regret. They fell into a trap. He knows their secrets, and they were setting a trap. Main female, who isn't a main female, needs to surrender their need to control. They fell into a trap. The main male knew their secrets, and he gained a victory over them. They have to accept this loss. This whole community has to accept this loss. They did not get the unexpected income. They could not tap into this main male. Good news. Friendship. Happiness. Manifestation. Financial opportunity. This community of people, yeah, they're upside down. In a tower. They're in some big time. They're in a 5 of cups, an 8 of cups, the tower. And there's no concern for the envious who made mistakes. Like, nobody cares. I mean, concern is in the reverse. It's like it is what it is. You're in a tower, and there's a homelessness in the reverse. Castaway, poor, failure in the reverse. So whatever this is, this tower is not going to fail. Homelessness in the reverse. There's a tower hitting that won't. What is this? There's a tower where somebody has to move forward. They're moving away. They're making preparations, and they're very disappointed. They're being abandoned. They're walking away. Nobody's concerned about the mistakes that those who were envious made. We've got homelessness in the reverse. Failure. So whatever this tower is, it's not going to fail. Homelessness is in the reverse, meaning we've got death here, stop, and then we got death here, their expectation in the reverse, and shadow side. It's like they're not losing their body in this death. It's more like it's a energetic and mental shift. Into circumstances of which they will have to survive. So it's like it's not like. And death, the death card here is sure it's endings and beginnings, but it's also transformation. So it's like these ones are having to undergo a tower, which will move them into a state of man, it's a situation they're going to have to survive. They're not going to like it. I imagine it'll probably be similar to what you yourself, or those that you in your family line, or those that you've been close to have had to suffer through. We've got prayers, religion, and sickness. So libation, illness, and robbery. Somebody's praying, they're sick over this robbery, or maybe trying to rob somebody made them sick, and now they're praying about it. They're being separated. Maybe you're being separated from this conflict, or from those who are bringing you conflict, and you're moving in. Your family, this family who is the gift, could be a collective, macro or micro. Take it as it resonates. They triumph. They triumph. This family of stars, and these ones are left in the shadows, mentally disturbed, or you doing having some spiritual disturbances, and you are calm and you are gained, like you've gained. You won. So this is the conclusion of this. This is the conclusion. So you cultivated yourself through this. You managed yourself. You did the inner work. You processed all of this trauma and despair. You healed your triggers and your wounds. You came into acceptance of the things that you could not change, and you just kept moving through it. And the thing about this is this is solitude. This is healing done in solitude. And in solitude is when you're quiet, and when you are in solitude is when your connection with the Most High is greatest. Whether you're hearing anything or not, that connection is strengthened, that bond. And that's what heals you. The stars, your connection with your Star Nation family, with your spiritual essence and lineage. That place and those who you are related to in the stars. They're furious. They couldn't take you out. You overcame their efforts to undo you. And they are going to be experiencing what they put you through, and concern is out here in the reverse. Like you may not really care. Or the Lord is unconcerned. About the mistakes that the envious made. They are being left behind. Death again. Death again. Death in the central energy, with release, with the hanged man, with sacrifice. In the subconscious, we've got stop and death and despair. They did not live and learn. This marriage is happening. And then in the intentions and expectations, there is death again. They didn't get what they were expecting. Instead, there's death. And there's they're stuck in this shadow side. Sweetheart, you're a sweetheart. You love yourself in a healing way, in a very gentle way. You heal yourself. You love yourself into healing. These ones love themselves into hurting everything around them for money. And they're furious because they're facing imprisonment, and they're in despair because they've been stopped. And there's death here. They have been stopped. Stop and death. Stop. They're in despair over your fortune. You're coming together in this Four of Wands energy, and they're in despair over your fortune. They wanted your fortune. They didn't want you to come together in this union. They wanted you to be undone and to go away so that they could live a high life on your path, but they couldn't take it. They couldn't take the pathway of this star. And I like repeating this because I want you to understand. There's somebody here holding your hand. Lover, serenading you. You may have been blind throughout this. You may not have known why it was happening, or any of it. You may not have known. But somebody's here. Somebody's here loving on you, star. And somebody didn't get your pathway. They have to accept the things they cannot change. You love yourself. Not in an egotistical, prideful, I'm going to go show off and the world is going to take pictures and tell everybody that I'm the most beautiful person in the world. No. Not in that way. We got an old woman here. Did not get what they were expecting. Death. Shadow side. You love yourself too much. You love yourself too much. So, the cool thing is that you're a star and he's the sun. The sun and the sun and the stars come together. The pleasure seekers need to go see a doctor. They're sick. They got themselves sick. They weren't being careful when they were out there doing their business, and they got themselves sick. Main male is here, all relaxed. He's not worried about it. Pleasure seekers got to go see the doctor. He won a victory over this person who's not the main female. He knew about this person's secrets and they fell into a trap. He gained a victory over this soldier, this Empress reversed soldier, sent by this community to sabotage him. But he gained a victory over that person and moved away. Or move this person away. They're in a big tower. Melancholy in the reverse. Yeah, this is good news. So the community here in the reverse. So this shady community or, not so savory community has to accept this loss and move on. And you are here with a financial opportunity, a miracle. A miracle. Oopsie. Financial opportunity, a miracle. You and your network of friends are happy. And we've got melancholy in the reverse. So you've got happy, good news, melancholy in the reverse, financial opportunity for this friendship connection, this network, and this community, this upside down community of people have to accept that they have to move on. They gotta get on down the road. Empress reversed is here. Did not get the unexpected income. Yeah, sent in by this community, but this main male was privy to their soldier tactics and denied this Empress reversed, and now they're in regret because he don't take kindly to that. We got reunion. So we got this professional widower wanted to come in and F up this reunion. And he knew her strategy and she fell into a trap. Young woman. A young woman. So there's a tower here, and we got homeless in the reverse. So it's like somebody has to live inside of a tower, inside of a natural disaster. Whatever their next cycle is, it's going to be treacherous. You've got natural disaster and you've got death in the central energy. In the intentions and expectations, you've got death. In the subconscious, you've got death. In the outgoing energy, you've got tower, but you've also got homelessness in the reverse. So it could be that they're like their house of wood goes down, but their house of flesh doesn't. They're still having to walk around in this lack energy. And it's like concern is in the reverse. So there's no concern over the mistakes that the envious people made, or there's no concern over this envy anymore. Like there won't be any reason to be concerned over this envy. It's like circumstances are extremely shifting. Yeah, we got widower again, professional widower. Or maybe they lose their wife or husband. We've got gift here. It could be, too, that this main male here is the lover of this star. And it could be that these gifts, he and she, aren't homeless. They didn't lose their body. They weren't cast away. They couldn't cause them to be cast away. These liars, these malicious, furious people who are being imprisoned, these haughty folks who were going after the pathway of this star and this sun. Both of them are free. And they're coming together, and they tried to slip in this Empress reversed on this main male, and he was like, I see what you got going on there. What do we got going on here? We got haughty. Yeah, those who are haughty are sick. Malady. They're sick. Death, death, death. Malady. Doctor for the pleasure seekers. Yeah, these pleasure seekers need to go see the doctor. And it's like they wanted to send in this Empress reversed to plug in to this main male to trap him in some way. This is wild. And he's not playing. And I don't blame him, man. This is getting old. This story is so old. It's like, just stop effing around with people, man. Just quit. I don't want to fight with you. Stop laying traps, soldier. Nobody wants to fight with you. Oh, but I'm going to fight with you. Okay, fine. You stay over there. Way over there. Sometimes you have to love people from a distance, you know, and they will still never accept it. Whether you are near or far, they will still find a reason to get frustrated and envious over your happiness. Whether you have a little or a lot, they will be upset because you're happy and they want you miserable. Because that makes them happy. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.